good people. I hope you're all doing good. My name is Favour Rukombo, and a conversation with
Mascara sei Mono van Bayere, Nindon si Verena, Nidon for Austria.
yes.
Thank you, Favour. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming. And today I am very glad to be joined by you. And first and foremost, I would want us to discuss about the role of social norms and cultural expectations in dating. Um, what do you understand? What do you understand by culture?
By culture.
Yes.
Okay. Um, Culture you grow up with your own culture, and it's hard to explain what is culture actually, but it's like the way you live, the traditions
True.
you have, the values you have. Yeah.
Basically, maybe this encompasses your lifestyle, isn't from the kind of food you take, the kind of clothes you wear, maybe your preference to maybe skin decorations like tattoos,
Yeah.
and perhaps maybe even the piercings and nose rings, earrings, and etc.
Yeah.
This also encompasses the term culture. And I want you to know, I want you to tell us your experience with cultural expectation versus dating experience. For instance, if you see someone at first and have love at first glance, would you consider their culture, or you can just take yourself with the feeling of that person, or you don't believe in love at first glance?
Okay. So the thing with love at first glance, I don't really believe in, because I feel like when you say it's love at first glance, it's more like the physical attraction, and then maybe on this attraction you can build a deeper relationship. But at the first moment, you don't really know if you have shared values, if this person is respectful or anything. So yeah.
But it takes time for you to maybe know more about them. For you to love someone, for instance, let us be very realistic. For instance, in my own experience, for me to love someone, I don't start by considering their cultural norms and values, their ethnicities and their ethnographics. What I consider first is their outlook appearance. Whether they do have some nyashi, whether they have, whether they are some yellow bones or whatsoever, whether they are tall, whether they are slim, whether they are stout, or whether they have a mediocre kind of body. These are some of the things that women are firstly attracted by when we see women. And maybe to your side, I don't know if someone approaches you,
Yeah.
the first thing you have a short list of the things you expect a rightful candidate who should fall in love with me, should have maybe should be a little bit taller than me, or they should be at an average height, or they should be shorter than me, they should be giant, they should be slim, they should be from whichever country. Would you consider all that?
Yeah, of course. Of course. If there's no physical attraction, it doesn't work either.
Oh, very true. Yeah. Very true. And then from physical attraction, you now then start seeing whether their cultural values align with that of yours.
Yes.
Which is basically true. And let us look at our cultural expectation when it comes issues of approaching each other. Our culture does not believe that a woman should approach a guy whether they are actually attracted so much to them that the guy may not be able to notice whether they love him, or maybe they may actually ignore their actions towards the love they bear towards them. Would you then say, I cannot burn from my inside? I should go and tell Favour I love them.
Yeah.
Do you do that?
In our culture, it's no problem. It's also the women who can go and.
Have you ever done that before?
Of course.
To say,
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah, I have.
Ah. So what did the guy do?
Yeah, it's normal in our culture.
You know,
Yeah,
they can simply express themselves that, but I don't feel the same.
yeah.
Honestly speaking.
Honestly speaking,
And in our culture, it's very hard. If something like that happens, I tell you, if something like that happens, it's difficult for a man to say no to that.
oh,
Which is probably possible that if 20,000 women come to the African male and say, I love you, Favour, I love you, the possibility of just fall in love with the 95% of them is high. Because in our culture, we don't believe a woman can have the audacity to come to a man and say,
yeah.
but you, I feel for you.
Mm.
It's very, very difficult. Yes, it's fine. But I think with the globalization, we need to understand that it's very common. If you love someone, can you be
Yeah.
open with it? I love you. You cannot go to jail for that.
No, but it's
No,
also hard to tell people how you feel.
it's very,
Yeah.
especially, that is why sometimes people say, she is my crushy, she's my, he is my crushy. The fact is, they don't have the courage to just go and tell them, no, you are not my crush. I simply love you.
Yeah.
Can you just make something together?
Yeah.
Well,
That's also a point I switched my view on because now I'm thinking, what if I die and they don't even know that I like them? So I
oh,
just go and tell.
not even the fact that don't go that far. What if I die? What if someone takes them away before I tell them I love you?
Yeah.
Basically, a lot of ladies who may develop jealous, someone can just hate someone for the reason they do not know.
Yeah.
Why? Because they have taken the person they were crushing on.
But no one knows.
But no one knows.
Yeah.
The guy didn't know and noticed that you crushed on them. But it's simply because you have not been able to tell them that, hey, please, can you find something for me? I love you. And the boy can be easily taken away. And maybe all the other guys who may be shy to tell other ladies they love them, they end up being taken away because they do not have the audacity to express their feelings toward other people. Mm, I would want to know. I have something that I have scripted.
Yes, please.
In your culture, do you believe in gender roles or something? For instance, women are responsible for looking after children and men for working for children.
Okay, that's an interesting point. We There is something like gender roles, but it's getting less. It's more like now, um, it's more like balancing that the man and the women are going to work, and they're both caring for the children, and they're both splitting up the house chores. Yeah.
Okay, could you just check that maybe, I don't know, if you are saying that it is getting less in your culture, because men and women are always going to the industry and they are working in organization, whether in whichever position they are just working in those organizations. Would you just take it in a relationship, for instance, or you date someone and you plan for an outing, a date, or a movie night, and then you need to actually go about the expenses that you are going to incur in order to have that event done. Would you consider everything to be done by a guy, or you just go 50-50?
I would go for the 50-50. And the most important thing I feel is to talk openly about it. Yeah, because maybe one partner can afford it, and then you can't expect for the man. It's also expensive for the man to pay for everything.
And I think one of the most factor that is resulting to the falling of so many relationships these days is this thing of responsibilities. Our women, just because of this gender expectation or a gender role, I may call them stereotypes, this misbeliefs that these things are supposed to be done by men and these are supposed to be done by women. And I'm expected to cover all the costs for the event that costs about $500.
Yeah.
and it's actually hard for me to carry it on. And ladies who may also be getting the same amount of money in the same organization with them, expect me to do everything for them. And I think basically this is where so many people are just regarding some ladies as red flags, because you are going to the I've been to school with you in the same classroom, in law classroom or in psychology classroom, and our career prospects are the same. We are going to be all counselors, and you are working as counselors in an organization, and the amount of money on my payslip is 500, and that of my lady is 500, and we have something like a plan to go out for a movie night or anything. As a couple, you expect me to do everything for that and sparing your money for other expenses.
That's not fair. No.
I think as we are actually hearing that some of the things we are doing for us in Africa are not fair. Listen to what Verena is saying. Let's prefer to go for 50-50. You are going to work. We have been in the same classroom, and the theories and knowledge you have accumulated from the classroom is just the same. The position we occupy in our organization is just the same.
Yeah.
The money on our payslip is just the same. Why do we differ when it comes issues of sharing responsibilities in the name of love?
There's also a concept I've read about. It's because the 50-50 is not always fair. Because maybe the guy earns more and the girl earns less, or it's the opposite, I don't know. And then you can do like the one who earns more spends a little bit more and the other one contributes.
Yes, I think in this case it works much better.
Yeah.
I'm actually talking about those people who may be dating from workplace.
Yeah. Yeah.
That way. But now that in most cases, usually men date people who are younger than them. Probably I'm in my late 20s.
Yes.
And I can probably date someone who is around 21, 22, or 24.
Yeah.
Depends with who, if I decided to pick from their age group. It's probably true. I might be earning more than her.
Yeah.
And expectations are high that I must always deliver more than she delivers. Why? Because her income is less than that of mine. In that case, it's very understandable. We are talking of an instant where we are coming from the same work class, and you expect me to do more in a relationship simply because I'm a man.
No.
It's not fair.
No.
So,
It's absolutely not fair.
so basically, you'd find out that people would prefer to date those people with that common understanding. It's not that I must be always put on the cross because I'm a man. You must relieve me from other stresses. I have heard of a myth. I don't know. Maybe you may dispel it for me.
Okay.
That there are some. At what age do you expect, or is your culture expect a guy, maybe those little teens, to start having love affairs?
I think most of them are starting at like 16 or something. Yeah.
Dating ladies.
Yeah. Mostly the guys, they mostly prefer ladies that are younger.
Which is probably they'll be dating preteens.
Yeah, no, when you're teenagers, then it's such a huge difference between when you're 12 and 16. So more like 15 maybe or something.
But maybe because I don't know, you grow very fast in your cultures. Like you can see someone who is cool, but who look like you. Like seriously.
Yeah.
We have seen it in football. Like you can even hear that Haaland is 70, but he's
Yeah, that's right.
He looks like someone who is 35 in our culture.
That's
So
right.
probably it may make sense to say that someone who is 15 may be dating someone who is 14 or 13.
Yeah.
Because physically they will be bigger in nature, in stature, I mean, than we can actually tell in our African context. That when you are 17, you will be looking pretty younger.
Yeah.
In stature, actually.
Yeah.
Not in age, but in stature. You'll be very, very small. And if I am to share with you my experience in high school.
Yes, please.
It was very horrible. You know, we really wanted to have that conformity, to be part of the group, because when the puberty stage approaches, you would want to just fit in the group, like as others are writing some letters to ladies. Hi Verena, my name is Favour. You are so beautiful. I love you so much. Would you please take my
Oh.
and then you could just write the letter back to me and tell me, no Favour, thank you so much. I've seen your letter. But remember, you are very short.
Oh.
How in the
Yeah.
face of this world would you expect me to date a very short guy like you? I felt so embarrassed several times.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm having the same problems with being too tall.
Or in your case, you were too tall that people would simply say, how can I date a very tall
Yeah.
lady like you? This height is not normal for a lady to be very, very tall.
Yeah.
But I think it was very, very good for me, and it was a blessing in disguise.
Mm.
Because those constant denials from the ladies just because of my appearance
Mm.
shaped the person that I am right now.
Yeah.
And I recently shared that same experience. In our culture, if you have a privilege to date in high school, and every lady is coming to you, loving you just because of your appearance,
Yeah.
it will be probably difficult for you to date this very same good quality in your late 20s. Why? Because in your 16s, when the demand, especially for love affairs, is high,
Mm.
your effort and time to focus on building the purpose is probably going to be reduced. Why? Because you have that egocentric and you feel like you are very important. And you brag about you dating like 3/4 of the classroom.
Yeah.
3/4 of the classroom, they want to just mess around you and do some nice things
Yeah.
for you, bringing you lunch and just taking care of you.
Mm.
And everyone wants to write a message to you. And I think that one, to all young brothers who might be listening to this, it's very, very good for you to ignore those instincts. Why? Because they distract your purpose.
That's right. Yeah.
Instead of focusing more on your courses,
Mm.
you focus more on the I love you messages.
Yeah.
Your very handsome messages. Your very beautiful messages. And those messages really disturb your progress as a person.
And you should build your self-confidence through yourself and not through the I love you messages from someone else. Then
Yes.
you always depend on someone else. Yeah.
Very, very, very true. And for that reason, I could actually reflect on my journey as a person. All the denials built the confidence in me to say that I want to replace my stature with a purpose.
Mm.
If they don't want me because I am small, I am short, I must focus more on finding something to replace that thing which is missing in me, that other ladies may not be attracted simply because I'm short. So I had to read books too much, so that I can, yeah, I can get myself more knowledgeable about the things.
Yeah.
So that is how I bought favor from all my teachers.
Mm.
Because if a science teacher comes, they ask some questions about our previous lesson, I could simply narrate everything.
Yeah.
Oh, about what is science? The study of living and non-living things. And you can actually dish at the corner to see a very tall guy, handsome. John, what is science? Ma'am, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Because they were preoccupied with those I love you and handsome message instead of focusing more on books.
Yeah.
I think on that way, it is very, very good for all our younger brothers to reflect on that, ignoring all the compliments you may be getting from those people around you because they are very distracting, rather than we focusing more on what is supposed to be done in school. You focus more on what do they give you in school.
Yeah.
So I think This is very, very important. And thank you so much, Verena. Would you want to
Thank
share
you,
some of
Favour.
the things from what we have discussed?
Okay, so in conclusion, we can say it's really important to not just look at the outside of the person, so it's also important to look at their culture and to communicate. Yeah, if you want a long-term relationship.
If you want to. And also to add on what we have said, it is also very, very important to just consider building your purpose first
Yes.
before you look for love.
Mm-hmm.
I reflect on Joshua Maponga's message that he have shared previously. It's better for men to fight over land than to fight over women. In this concept, he was trying to say that a man should have two wives. He must be polygamous. Polygamous in which sense? He must have the first wife, which is probably the land. The land to do what? Where he planned his purpose.
Yeah.
This is where the economy is. Because if you go for someone, a lady with the two legs, who could bear children, on which ground? If you don't have a ground in which this lady could sit and stay and build life here, there is probably no reason. You could actually look for a woman.
Yeah.
And if a man comes to you as a woman and say, I love you, instead of asking them why, he was actually regarding it as one of the nonsensical questions that ladies ask. If a man comes and say, Verena, I love you,
Yeah.
they simply say, why? It's an outdated question.
Yeah.
You should ask them why.
Yeah.
This is where a person is now regarded as someone intelligent. If you ask them where, it simply means that you need to know what do they have that they have the audacity to say that they want to look after someone.
Yeah. Yeah. Did they build their purpose? Yeah.
They should have something that they should offer to someone whom they want to stay for the indefinite period of time. It doesn't make sense for me to have someone in my life if I do not have the resources enough to keep them. Because the world, even though they say it's for the survival of the fittest, we need to also to understand that if a lady comes in our lives, it probably means they are here to help us grow our purpose than distracting it. If there is no purpose, there's no reason for love. And basically, those terms like unconditional love, do you believe in that?
Unconditional love.
Love without any condition. Loving someone without any condition.
I don't know. No, it probably doesn't work, does it?
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. There's always a condition why we love someone.
Yeah.
Probably, if someone comes to me, or if someone comes to you and asking for love, you will probably want to know what do they do in life, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, you cannot just love with someone, just fall in love with someone who does not
or
have.
maybe you can love, but then
It doesn't stay.
Falls apart.
Yeah, it falls apart because we should not just fall in love simply because they are attractive.
Yeah.
You can't simply fall in love with the men of no abode. You need to know their address.
Yeah.
And after that, you then decide to establish your feelings in their lives. Time for good stories.